Here we are for round number 4. It's the first time we have not won the die roll, so we will be taking the draw. A pretty slow hand with a bunch of draw spells. Mirror Enforcer, we are going to keep it. This is not an exciting hand. Our opponent has mulligan down to 6, but it's the type of hand that doesn't seem that exciting, but does present us with a really nice long game as we kind of keep moving forward. So let's see how this pans out for us. It looks like they are playing Affinity. This is certainly the type of hand where we could just lose before we make it going. A turn 1 Springleaf Drum is a nice one. Interesting that we've played Affinity twice. I haven't found Affinity to be a particularly popular deck when I've been playing, but we'll kind of take these matchups as they come. Sure, Atog enters the battlefield. Okay, so we will play our Prism, which is not exciting. Galvanic Blast is a good one. Reason being, he's not super high on resources, so he's going to have to make a choice whether he wants to sacrifice 2 artifacts or keep his Atog, and it's somewhat likely he's just going to let his Atog go, and then we've got answers for his stuff. Oh, that's a pretty good draw, actually. I'm going to start with a Thoughtcast here. Let's take a peek. Sure, let's put 4 damage at that. He's happy to let it go. And now we have a theoretically equal board state, but we're up multiple cards, plus we have Perilous Researches to kind of continue to churn through our deck. We are happy to make trades. Absolutely. If he has Temur Battle Rage, we're not going to be... Yeah, that's fine. Temur Battle Rage being used as a removal spell here, plus 4 damage is not a huge deal. Another Thoughtcast. Let's take a peek at 2 more cards. Great. And we still have the Perilous Research as an instant speed draw spell. We will play it end of turn because we won't have any mana available after we research, but it could also protect us from a removal spell should he show us one. Gearseeker Serpent resolves. Let's take a look at some cards. Yep. Great. Unfortunately, we don't have any attacks. Makes me wonder about playing the research and sacking the Prism, which I probably should do. Let's start there. We'll play a land. Play another Forger. Thoughtcast. And pass the turn. So we are, I think, ahead here. I mean, we've drawn 11 more cards than they have. So I hope we're a little bit ahead. Happy to... So here's kind of interesting. I'm just going to triple block this. Given he's already Battle Raged us once, most lists only play 1 Battle Rage, so it's unlikely he'd be able to do anything with this. If he has another Battle Rage, good for him. Wow, a second Battle Rage is honestly pretty wild. Wow. Was still just a 2 for 2, but kind of insane to be honest. I didn't think they played 2 Battle Rage most of the time. Let's take a look. Let's see if there's any other spells hiding under here. Another one, sure. And we'll go for red this time. And let's start getting in for some damage. So we are now in a position where we have a 4-4 to their nothing. We both have kind of nothing. We've got more resources for an ATOG potentially as we kind of move on, but we've drawn quite a number of lands. Given that we sacrificed one as well, we've still seen well over half of our lands. So we have Thoughtcast is a great draw for him. Frogmite resolves. If he plays ATOG here, I'll be pretty sad, honestly. Wow, okay. Good draws. Yep. So we are no longer the beatdown. Battle Rage is good. I don't think he's planning to block, and we don't kill him. I mean, maybe we do just attack here. If he happens to block, we can still Battle Rage. And then we're still way ahead. If he doesn't block, we set ourselves up for the win, leaving ourselves dead to a few draws off the top, but I don't think playing a defensive Battle Rage is where we want to be. So I think we just attack here, which should leave him dead. That was not a bad exchange for us. Puts him to 6. He needs to draw off the top. I don't know if he's just attacking because he's not planning to block, or if he drew something. Main deck Shaman. Okay. He's playing a main deck Shaman, which is something that you see every once in a while. Not incredibly common, but Prism resolves. He's going to have to do some blocking here. We are easily able to outpace his ATOG, or his Shaman with our ATOG. It seems like we're in pretty good shape here. He's just going to have to go double chump. I mean, that makes things simpler. We'll just do that. Keep anything interesting from having to worry about happening. Okay, so he is playing main deck Shaman. I don't bring Shamans in this matchup, so wonder if he sides it out. We'll play the Gorilla Shaman, and we'll bring our Ancient Grudge. So same sideboard plan as last time. We had those 4 cards to bring in, and we've got some cards to take out. So we'll take out the Research, 1 Wellspring, and then 1 Flare Husk as well, since we brought in a creature. And we will go from there. Good luck to us in game 2. Affinity is such an interesting matchup. It can be so swingy and so back and forth. It seemed like we were ahead and behind at different points in that first game, and we'll have to see how the second game goes. This hand's totally fine. We have a Blast, we have a Drum, we have Atog. Totally worth keeping, and I will keep it. We'll see what goes on here. Plays a star. Plays Thoughtcast. Okay. Has a Frogmite. Wow, okay. So let's draw. Drawing that Frogmite's obviously very good for him. Potentially lets him do something more explosive. Alright, so we will play our Atog. And get the next drum out. The question is, do we protect against Blast if he plays it? Unlikely as a Blast now at this point, since he did not want to Blast at the end of our turn. Seems unlikely he would let that happen. Sure. Sure. We have a reasonably good turn coming up this turn. We get to play this guy. Play this guy. And then the question is, do we want to blast something right now? I don't think we do. I think we give him a chance to try to show us Temur Battle Rage or something with an attack here. Flare Husk is fine. Double red. Okay. What does he have for double red? That's interesting. Okay, sure. I don't hate making him sack 2 things here either. So, we kind of decide what we want to do at the end of our turn here. Making him sack 2 things. It's likely just like a land and Flare Husk. Or we just get rid of a threat. I think we just try to make him... We don't want his Atog to be as threatening, so making him sack 2 things is probably where we want to be. Just lets it go. Okay. Grudge is clearly excellent here. The question of whether we want to like just bomb 2 of his lands or whether we would just want to bomb his 2 creatures. I'm pretty sure we just want to bomb his 2 creatures. That leaves him in a pretty precarious position. And now we can just jam. He probably just has to block the mirror, or the Atog. but he can block anything. Sure. Possibly his Hydroblast, but even if he has Hydroblast, we're still in a pretty good position. Our board state's quite a bit better than his. If he'd had Hydroblast, I feel like he might have used it earlier when I Galf Blasted his Zatog, but... So now we're in a pretty commanding board position. There's not a lot that he can do here to beat us. So let's see what he's able to find. Another Care Bear's Forger would be fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. Question is whether we want to attack with a Ratog here, honestly. And we might not. He has his own Atog. Okay. Hydroblast is kind of insane here. Let's just attack with these guys. See if he wants to do any blocking with his Atog. Do we get greedy? So I don't think so. Maybe we'll just take this as being a solid 3 for 1. He might just scoop up here. Consider trying to get him to sack another land or 2 more lands, but I don't think we need to. And now we've got a lot of lethal on board and should make it pretty easy for us to advance to 4 in this league. Okay, great. So drawing a couple sideboard cards obviously helps in this type of matchup, and we were happy to be the beneficiary of that. Moving on to our 5th and final round.